It started with a dream, a vivid, haunting vision, a nightmare of unimaginable terror. I was floating in an endless expanse of black, the stars distant pinpricks of light that offered no solace. The silence was deafening, a suffocating weight that pressed down on me, a tangible presence that threatened to consume me. And then I felt it, a cold, icy hand reaching out, pulling me deeper into the darkness, into a void that seemed to stretch on forever. My name is Thomas. I'm a physicist, a man devoted to understanding the laws of the universe, to unraveling the mysteries of space and time. I've always believed that science holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the cosmos, to understanding our place in the grand scheme of things. But what I discovered, a voice from the void, a whisper from beyond the boundaries of reality, was a truth far more terrifying than I could have ever imagined. The whispers began subtly, a faint rustle in the static, barely audible, almost imperceptible. They came at night, usually when I was alone in my lab, surrounded by the hum of equipment and the flickering glow of computer screens. At first, I dismissed them, attributing them to the stress of my work, the exhaustion of my relentless pursuit of knowledge. But as the whispers grew louder, more insistent, more terrifying, I could no longer ignore them. They carried a language I didn't understand, a guttural, rhythmic sound that resonated deep within my bones. It was a language of ancient knowledge, a language that spoke of things beyond human comprehension, of cosmic forces and ancient entities. It spoke of a realm beyond the boundaries of our universe, a void where darkness reigned supreme, a place where the rules of physics no longer applied. The whispers spoke of a world beyond our understanding, a world where reality was fluid, where time and space were mere illusions, where the boundaries between life and death were blurred. The whispers filled me with a sense of dread, a fear that gripped my heart and coiled around my mind. The fear of the unknown, the fear of the unseen, the fear of the infinite. I felt as though I was being watched, as though something was listening, as though something was waiting. The whispers started to influence my work. They whispered equations into my mind, cryptic formulas, complex theories. They spoke of a cosmic dance, a symphony of stars and shadows, a ballet of energy and matter. It was a dance that defied the laws of physics, a dance that seemed to whisper of a universe far larger, more complex, and more terrifying than I could have ever imagined. I tried to explain the whispers to my colleagues, to share the theories that were being whispered into my mind, but they just shook their heads. They dismissed my claims as the ravings of a mad scientist, the delusions of a man driven to the brink of madness by his obsessive pursuit of knowledge. But I knew that the whispers were real. I could feel their presence, their power, their insidious influence on my mind and my soul. The whispers grew stronger, more insistent, more terrifying. They filled my mind with images of cosmic horrors, of ancient entities, of vast, unfathomable realms. I felt myself being pulled towards the void, drawn into its darkness, its seductive embrace. Driven by a mixture of fear and fascination, I decided to create an experiment to try to understand the whispers, to try to communicate with the unseen entity that was calling to me. I built a device, a receiver of sorts, designed to amplify the whispers, to capture their essence, to translate their meaning. It was a dangerous gamble, a journey into the unknown, but I felt compelled to act. The experiment was a success. The whispers became clearer, louder, more insistent. I could hear them, not just in my mind, but in the very air around me. I could feel their presence, their power, their cold, calculating intelligence. They spoke to me, offering knowledge, power, a glimpse into the secrets of the universe. They spoke of a realm beyond our comprehension, a realm of infinite possibilities, a realm where the boundaries of reality were fluid, where the laws of physics were mere suggestions. I was hooked, consumed by the whispers, by the knowledge they offered, by the power they promised. I felt a strange sense of connection to the unseen entity, a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose. But I was also afraid. The whispers were not just offering knowledge, they were demanding something in return. They were asking me to surrender my humanity, to embrace the darkness, to become a part of the void. I was caught between two worlds, the world of science and the world of the void. I was a scientist, a seeker of truth, but I was also a human being, a creature of flesh and blood, with a soul that craved connection and meaning. I knew that if I embraced the whispers, if I gave in to their seductive call, I would lose myself. I would become something else, something alien, something monstrous. I made the decision. I destroyed the device, the instrument that had allowed me to hear the whispers. I knew it was the right decision, but it was also a painful sacrifice. I was sacrificing my connection to the void, to the knowledge it offered, to the power it promised. The whispers were gone. But their presence lingered. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed, that I had been touched by something dark and ancient. I lived the rest of my days haunted by the memories of the whispers, by the knowledge that there was a realm beyond our comprehension, a realm of darkness, a realm that was always watching, always waiting. The universe is a vast and mysterious place, a place of wonder and beauty, but also a place of darkness and dread. There are forces in the universe that we don't understand, forces that are beyond our comprehension. The whispers from the void are a reminder that the universe is not a benevolent force. It can be a place of darkness, a place of destruction, a place of terror. I don't know if the whispers will return, but I live with the knowledge that they're out there, waiting, watching, whispering, calling to us from the void. I learned that science can be a powerful tool, but it can also be a dangerous one. It can lead us to truths that we're not ready to face. The universe is a dangerous place, a place where the unseen enemy lurks, a place where the whispers from the void can beckon us to the edge of reality. But we can resist the call. We can hold on to our humanity. We can choose to believe in the light. The darkness of the void, the whispers from beyond, they are just one facet of the universe's terrifying vastness. But there are other horrors, other mysteries, other calls that echo through the cosmos. Now, let me tell you about a truth more terrifying than the whispers. The dance of chaos. The forest was silent, its trees towering like ancient sentinels, their branches reaching towards the sky, their shadows stretching across the ground. It was a place of mystery and beauty, but also a place of darkness and dread. I was drawn to its secrets, its whispers, its promises, but I didn't realize the darkness that awaited me. My name is Anya. I'm a writer, a seeker of stories, a collector of experiences. I believe that the world is a tapestry of stories, that every place, every person, every object holds a story waiting to be told. I've spent my life exploring the world, searching for the hidden stories, the whispers of the past, the secrets of the universe. But what I discovered, a call from the unknown, a voice from the darkness, was a truth far more terrifying than I could have ever imagined. I had always been fascinated by the ancient forests, by their timeless beauty, by their ability to evoke a sense of awe and wonder. I felt a connection to them, a connection to the ancient spirits that dwelled within their shadows. I remember the first time I walked into this particular forest, a place that had been shrouded in mystery for centuries, its history shrouded in legends and folklore. The air was heavy with humidity, the scent of decaying leaves and damp earth filling my nostrils. The trees towered above me, their branches intertwined, creating a dark and oppressive canopy that blocked out the sun. As I walked deeper into the forest, I felt a presence. It was a cold, chilling sensation, a feeling of being watched, of being followed. The forest seemed to be alive, its branches swaying gently, its leaves rustling in the wind, as if it were breathing. I heard whispers, faint at first, barely audible, but they grew louder, more insistent, more terrifying. They were whispers from the forest, voices from the darkness, calling my name, beckoning me deeper into its heart. The whispers spoke of secrets, of ancient knowledge, of forgotten powers. They spoke of a realm beyond our comprehension, a realm of darkness, a realm where the unseen enemy dwelled. I was drawn to the whispers, to their seductive call, to their promise of power and knowledge. I wanted to understand the secrets of the forest, to unlock the mysteries that lay hidden in its depths. I followed the whispers, deeper and deeper into the forest, my steps becoming heavier, my heart pounding, a sense of foreboding growing within me. The forest seemed to be closing in around me, its trees towering like ancient sentinels, their branches stretching out, their shadows reaching for me. The whispers grew louder, their voices filling my mind with images of terror, of ancient rituals, of sacrifices to the spirits of the forest. I felt myself changing, my senses becoming heightened, my thoughts racing, my body trembling. I was losing my grip on reality, consumed by the darkness of the forest, by the call of the unknown. I reached a clearing in the forest, a place where the trees parted, revealing a circle of stones, a place where the air felt heavy and charged with energy. In the center of the circle, a figure stood, its form shrouded in mist, its face obscured by darkness. It was a being of ancient power, a creature from the darkness, a manifestation of the unseen enemy. The creature spoke to me, its voice a low, guttural growl. It offered me power, knowledge, a place in its world, a place in the darkness. But I knew that if I accepted its offer, if I embraced the darkness, I would lose my soul. I resisted the creature's call, summoning every ounce of courage and will. I ran, fleeing the darkness, fleeing the whispers, fleeing the unseen enemy. I could hear the creature's laughter echoing through the forest, a chilling sound that sent shivers down my spine. I escaped the forest, but the darkness remained. I was changed, scarred by the experience, haunted by the whispers, by the call of the unknown. The whispers continued, even after I left the forest. They echoed in my mind, their words a constant reminder of the unseen enemy, of the darkness that lurked beyond the boundaries of our world. I knew that the call of the unknown was always present, that the unseen enemy was always watching, always waiting. The forest was a place of beauty and mystery, but it was also a place of darkness and dread. It held secrets, mysteries, and terrors that we couldn't begin to comprehend. I had been drawn to its secrets, but I had learned that some secrets are better left buried. The call of the unknown is a siren song, a whisper in the wind, a voice from the darkness that draws us to the edge of reality. It can be a seductive call, a promise of power, of knowledge, of something more. But we must be careful. We must be vigilant. We must never forget that there are forces in the universe that are beyond our understanding, forces that are beyond our control. The darkness is always watching, always waiting. It is always there, lurking in the shadows, whispering secrets, beckoning us to the edge of the abyss. But we have the power to resist. We have the power to choose. We have the power to believe in the light. These are just two stories, two glimpses into the vast and terrifying universe that surrounds us. There are countless other mysteries, other secrets, other dangers lurking in the shadows. The whispers from the void, the call of the unknown, they are just the beginning. The universe is a vast and terrifying place, and we are just small, fragile creatures, trying to find our way in the darkness. What stories will you find in the shadows? What mysteries will you uncover? What secrets will you unravel? Be careful what you wish for. The universe has a way of giving you exactly what you ask for. The darkness of the forest, the call of the unknown, they are just one facet of the horror that surrounds us. But there are other horrors, closer to home, more familiar, yet no less terrifying. Now, let me tell you another horror story, The Ghost in the Classroom. It was an old school, with creaking floors and dusty bookshelves, a place where the air hung heavy with the memories of generations of students. It was a place where whispers lingered, stories of strange occurrences, of unexplained events, of a presence that haunted the halls. It was a place where I encountered the unseen, a place where I learned the true meaning of fear. I was 8 years old, a small, shy boy, filled with a nervous energy that kept me bouncing off the walls. I loved stories, especially scary stories, and I would spend hours devouring books of ghost stories and horror tales. I was fascinated by the supernatural, by the idea that there was a world beyond our own, a world where the dead could return to haunt the living. But it wasn't just stories that filled my mind with fear. It was the school, our old, rambling, dilapidated school, a place where shadows seemed to linger in the corners of hallways and the whispers of the past seemed to echo in the silence of the empty classrooms. It was a cold, rainy afternoon. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, and the rain beat against the roof, as if trying to break its way in. I was sitting in the back of the classroom, trying to focus on my reading, but the words blurred before my eyes. I felt a presence in the room, a sense of unease, a feeling of being watched. I looked up, trying to pinpoint the source of the feeling, but I saw nothing. The classroom was empty, except for me and the teacher, who was busy at her desk, grading papers. But the feeling persisted, a cold shiver crawling down my spine, a sense of dread that filled me with fear. It was a feeling that I knew, a feeling I had experienced before. It was the feeling of being watched, of being followed, of being hunted. I couldn't shake the sense that something was in the room with me, something unseen, something sinister. I tried to ignore it, to focus on my book, to pretend that the feeling wasn't there. But the feeling grew stronger, more insistent, more terrifying. I heard a whisper, faint at first, barely audible, but it grew louder, closer, more distinct. It was a voice, a whisper from the shadows, calling my name. I looked up, my heart pounding, my breath catching in my throat. I saw a figure, a shadow in the corner of the room, its form indistinct, its features obscured by darkness. It was a tall, thin figure, with long, spindly arms and a head that seemed to be shrouded in mist. Its eyes glowed with an eerie, otherworldly light. I froze, my body paralyzed with fear. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't even breathe. I just stared at the figure, at its ghostly form, at its eyes that seemed to pierce the darkness. The figure was watching me, its eyes fixed on mine, its presence a cold, oppressive weight that pressed down on me. The room seemed to grow smaller, the walls closing in around me, the darkness thickening, enveloping me. I could hear the whisper again, calling my name, urging me to come closer. But I knew that if I moved, if I went towards the figure, if I took a step into the darkness, I would be lost. I had to get out of the classroom, had to escape the unseen terror. I forced myself to move. My body trembling, my legs weak, my mind filled with a desperate sense of urgency. I ran, scrambling towards the door, my eyes fixed on the figure, my fear driving me. I burst out of the classroom, slamming the door behind me, my heart pounding, my breath ragged. I ran, down the hallway, out of the school, into the open air, my fear propelling me. I looked back, but the school was gone. I was in a park, the sun shining, children playing, birds singing. It was a world of light and joy, a world where shadows had no power. But the fear remained. I could still feel the presence of the figure, its eyes watching me, its whisper echoing in my mind. I knew that the unseen terror was always there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. The school, with its creaking floors, its dusty classrooms, its echoing hallways, became a symbol of the unseen terror, a reminder of the darkness that lingered in the shadows. It was a place that I never wanted to return to. I left that school, moved on to a new school, a new life, but the memories remained. The memory of the ghost in the classroom, the memory of the unseen terror, the memory of the whisper from beyond. I learned that fear can be a powerful force, a force that can control our thoughts, our actions, our lives. The unseen terror had taken hold of my imagination, had filled my mind with images of horror, had left me with a lasting fear of the darkness, a fear that I would never be able to shake. I am no longer a child, but the fear still lingers, a haunting reminder of the unseen enemy that lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike again. It's a fear that I've learned to live with, a fear that has made me stronger, more cautious, more aware of the darkness that surrounds us. The ghost in the classroom, the unseen terror that haunted my childhood, was a glimpse into a darker side of reality, a side that is often hidden from our view. But there are other horrors, other secrets, other truths that are hidden from our eyes. Now, let me tell you about a story that has been passed down through generations, the untold story. My family had a secret, a truth that had been kept hidden for generations, a story that was whispered in hushed tones, a story that was never spoken aloud. It was a story that had been passed down through generations, a story of a dark family secret, a story that had haunted my family for centuries. I grew up in a small, isolated town, surrounded by a sense of history and a culture of hushed whispers. My family had a long history in the town, our roots running deep into the soil, our past intertwined with the very fabric of the community. But there was a secret that was never spoken of, a truth that was always kept hidden, a story that was never told. My grandmother would sometimes speak of the past, of the family's history, but she would always stop short, her voice filled with a sense of unease, her eyes filled with a look of fear. She would warn me to stay away from the attic, the dusty, cobwebbed space that was filled with boxes of old furniture, faded photographs, and forgotten trinkets. It was a place that held secrets, a place where shadows seemed to linger. One day, while exploring the attic, I found a book, a thick, leather-bound volume with a brass clasp. It was a book that had been hidden away, a book that my grandmother had told me to avoid. It was a book of secrets, a book that held the key to the family's untold story. The pages were filled with cryptic symbols, strange illustrations, and a language that I didn't understand. It was a book of magic, a book of rituals, a book that spoke of a world beyond our own, a world where the boundaries between the living and the dead were blurred. I was drawn to the book, to its secrets, to its power. I spent hours poring over its pages, trying to decipher its meaning, to understand the language of the ancient rituals. But the more I read, the more I felt a presence in the room with me, a cold, chilling sensation, a feeling of being watched. I heard whispers, faint at first, barely audible, but they grew louder, more insistent, more terrifying. They were whispers from the shadows, voices from beyond, calling my name, urging me to continue reading, to unlock the secrets of the book. As I read, the shadows in the room seemed to dance, twisting and turning, taking on the forms of grotesque creatures. The air grew heavy, the temperature dropped, and I felt a sense of dread, a sense of impending doom. The book told the story of my ancestors, a story of forbidden knowledge, of a pact with the unseen, of a dark magic that had been passed down through generations. It told the story of a family cursed, haunted by the ghosts of the past, bound to a fate that could not be escaped. I learned that my family had made a deal with the unseen, a deal that had come at a terrible price. The book warned me of the dangers of delving into such forbidden knowledge, of the consequences of unleashing forces that were beyond our control. The book also spoke of a prophecy of a time when the darkness would return, when the unseen enemy would break free, when the world would be plunged into chaos. It was a prophecy that I knew, deep in my heart, was true. I realized that my family had been cursed, haunted by the ghosts of the past, bound to a fate that could not be escaped. The unseen enemy was always watching, always waiting, its tendrils reaching out, its presence felt in every shadow, in every whisper, in every heartbeat. I was caught between two worlds, the world of the living and the world of the dead. I was a man of flesh and blood, but I was also a descendant of a cursed lineage, bound to a fate that I couldn't escape. I knew that if I ignored the book, if I continued to live in ignorance, the darkness would consume me, my family, and the world. But if I embraced the knowledge, if I delved deeper into the secrets of the past, I would risk unleashing a power that could destroy us all. I made a choice. I chose to burn the book, to destroy the source of the darkness, to break the cycle of fear and despair that haunted my family generations. But it was a choice that came at a price. The darkness did not disappear. It lingered, a presence that was felt in every shadow, in every whisper, in every heartbeat. I learned that the unseen enemy is always there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. It's a truth that has haunted me ever since, a truth that I have learned to live with, a truth